Hey. So just sitting here in my thoughts, about to have my tea before I go back to bed for 2 hours. I had my therapy session today while I was driving to go pick up my cousin, and and this session was definitely interesting. She shared, what did she share with me? I was telling her that I was having difficulty, like, or this person made me feel a certain way because I wanted to tell them something, or I was worried about what they were going to say. And it was interesting because she really was like, you really do not like conflict, and you have to be okay. Conflict is part of life, and you do have to present things because otherwise you'll be disappointed. She and I, from this conversation, I shared with her, like, because I'm concerned about the person's reaction, the consequences of it, and just being uncomfortable or at ease, or feel like, if I say this and the person may not, may take it this way, and then it's gonna ruin the friendship, the relationship. So I avoid bringing it up, right? And and just discussing it with her, and she really gave me some really great pointers. I realized, like, as a child, I was discussing with my cousin, who we pretty much grew up with each other, that as a child, like, because I never really liked the feeling of being not being told, like being told no, or that I couldn't do something. Once I was told that, I kind of sat with that, and then I avoided asking again. Um, so, like, I played, let's see, since third grade through about seventh grade, I played musical instruments. I played cello, violin for a year, and then viola, right? Throughout the whole time, I barely went to some of the concerts. I would say probably I went to maybe 60% of the concerts because I kind of knew I didn't have a ride to go to some of the concerts because, it was far. So even though I had solos, okay, I had solos to Schindler's List. And I didn't go because I knew that I had no ride. And I remember the one time I had asked and nobody was available. And it just made me like, you know what? Fine. I never bother asking again. And when I played volleyball, I kind of just, I would go to practice, and because the game was right, my school was right across the street from my house. Going to games wasn't an issue, but I never really kind of informed my parents and made it a thing for them to show up because I knew they weren't home. I knew they weren't available. So, and even when I wanted certain things, I would be like, okay, let me ask. I would get like, it took me a lot to ask for certain things. And then when they would say no, it would just be very disappointing, and then I just never bother asking again. Like, even for project graduation, when it's like when you graduate high school, and they do like the whole overnight stay, I knew that it was going to be a problem because my parents were just that strict and didn't really know any better. So I didn't even bother asking. So I've learned to, hey, if I know certain things about the situation or the person or how the person's going to react, I almost already prepare myself and be like, you know what, I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to bring it up. It's going to be uncomfortable. And she was sharing that with me because I I do not ask for things, and my sister always says that. And I rather just be like, oh, I'm just not getting the answers I need in this relationship. I'm quick to already know that this is how the person maybe acts, so I don't bring it up. I don't like the conflict. I don't like the consequences. Like, I was telling her a perfect example is that she was saying, it's okay to tell the person, hey, I don't want you to come over. With the previous relationship, he would just be like, hey, you home? I'm like, yeah, I'm home. And then he's okay, I'm gonna stop by. And I would never, I would never say no, because for me, it was like, okay, I mean, I wouldn't mind him coming, but even though I wasn't in the mood for company, or didn't really want to be bothered, I didn't say that, right? But because I didn't say that, he would come over, or I would see him, and then because I wasn't anticipating, I wasn't prepared or excited about it, I wouldn't really say anything. I wouldn't talk. And not that I wouldn't talk, but I didn't have the energy to say stuff. So I would just be sitting there just enjoying him being here, but not really saying nothing or saying anything. And then in return, he seems it like, oh, you're not really interested, or you're not actively engaging, kind of situation. Then it'd be like a thing. But for me, it was like, well, if I say no, now's not a good time. I think in my mind, it would be like, oh, okay, well, then I won't come over in the future. You know what I mean? But of course, that was me putting in my mind that that person would react this way, not that because they actually did it or, said that. So that was one of the examples that she shared. And then it seems like, hey, that's my disposition, because um I'm calm, and I don't present myself in a certain way, because I'm concerned about how the person is going to, how the person is going to feel. I'm conscious about how the person is going to feel, how they're going to react. So therefore, I don't I'm not true to myself, because in fear of the other person. And that's where it comes with the people pleasing. And I told her, like, and she said, you should not be concerned of how the person's perception of you. You should be who you are and let them know who you are. And the way, if you let them know, then they can perceive you whichever way they want to based on your action, but you have to let them know who you are and what you want, and what, how you're going to do things, because otherwise you're going to disappoint yourself, and then and you're disappointing the other person as well. So nobody's really benefiting. So yeah, it was very, very interesting. And the fact that she doesn't know me from a can of paint, just from, what I shared with her, she was able to like see that I don't like conflict. I really don't. I just want to be at peace. And even like, and it's just like understanding how to present it. Just knowing how to present it is really the biggest thing, and being okay with, okay, if that person perceived this way, as long as I am kind about it, and I'm being kind and respectful, that's pretty much all I owe them. And that should be enough. And just be mindful of how I say certain things. So I'm like, you're right, you're right. Yeah, my cousin was, like I said, my cousin who gives me the free advice. She she felt some type of way. I'm like, girl, you know me, and you would have said, hey, I know who you are, and I just realized I know who I am as a person, but sometimes I'm not really. I tend to not be true to myself, because I'm trying to, not because I want the person to like me, but I don't want to be, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to, I don't want to ruin things. You know what I mean? So therefore, I kind of go along to get along, and it leaves me, kind of just not being the exciting or being who I am, because I'm really there trying to please people. So, yeah, take that for what I just shared. Hopefully that helps you.